right. Hey guys, this is Elliot Wave Sage. Want to go ahead and do our live stream. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for education and entertainment purposes. Since I'm not going to post a market update, I'm just going to start with a quick market overview, and then for people that want to hear that, they can listen to the first part, and then I'll go into questions. So the market was very sloppy today, price action, but it broke lower just like we expected it to. There was definitely a lot of clues that played out. So the Dow Jones, real quick, at a very crucial moment, uh, we basically had a triple corrective structure here with no divergence at that peak. We almost did. I almost thought it was an impulse for a lot of, because if this was an impulse, then you're like, okay, we're coming back up, but I don't see it. It looks like a corrective structure that failed very dramatically. And the after hours is continuing lower. If we watch the after hours, if we break this pivot, then that's a bearish, our first bearish breakdown. A lot of people will stop out, and then a lot of people will now. I mean, you have to believe buying the dip. You know, for trade is okay, buying the dip to like hold as an investment. A lot of folks, if we wake up below these levels, a lot of folks are going to panic sell because think about all the bullish energy that was wasted and then erased essentially in 24 hours. That's what bear markets do. They just erase all the gains, you know, but a lot of bullish energy wasted. SPY, same structure, and we'll see what happens with that. The triple Qs, same structure, and we'll see where this ends up tonight. IWM, this one is a three-wave move and turned down. IWM getting rejected on the massive on this trend line. That's very important. It's like a massive wedge overthrow. We broke it, back tested the wedge. Now we're ready to puke down. I mean, we're ready. So is the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones broke out of its, you know, kind of end in diagonal here, and then it tried to get back within it, and then got rejected. Very bearish price action. You also have Bowen about to break a big pivot. That's a big stock if that happens. Very bearish setup. Then that's the indices, guys. Just quick, Bitcoin did break lower in X. As you could see, no divergence at this peak. Again, I was looking for the fifth wave, which would have, should have, you know, okay, that sets you up. But now that you don't have that, we'll just call X in. So we'll see where that goes. And if we can push down to the 40,000 area, this is where, this is the line in the sand for crypto. If this doesn't hold, you know, then crypto was a flat, and we'll probably come back to retest this low or break it. That's just the way it goes. I don't make the market. I just report the weather. You know, I'm just making you aware. If this doesn't hold, it's game over for the cycle. I think. Whether you disagree or agree, it's just the way the chart plays out. ETH, I have it in a 5 now. Now, if this turns into a 1-2, 1-2, it's a catastrophe for ETH. I'll just say that. Oil is in a short area if you're brave enough to take it, given a war in the Middle East is about to break out, which is kind of counterintuitive. But if it's a global liquidation, deflationary event, maybe oil can't even survive. Maybe oil can't even survive the onslaught that's about to happen. But this is a short setup. It worked here. Will work here. We'll see. Silver pushing down in this fifth wave. I don't think this is a 1-2 given the structure. If it is, it's a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then silver is going to have a catastrophic crash. Like we're like staring down down the Grand Canyon. So it's got to be this with a pump back up. But if it's the opposite, Oh man, hold on tight. The gold looks like it's going to want to do that bigger swing down. And so that would target us down to 23.45, 23.14. Then the dollar index should be pushing down in 5 or a 1-2-1-2. The Japanese yen did complete its three-wave swing. So now the question is X in? And we're going to take a major, major strength coming, or will it make another swing higher, which seems to be supporting the world markets when that happens. Just to follow up what I think about this yen carry trade just a little bit, a lot of people are like, oh, they pivoted and the Bank of Japan caved and the carry trade is back on. That's what they want you to think, so you FOMO in and spend all your money. But it's never going to go back to the way it was, because there's a lot of people that were in that trade, that were counterparties to that trade, that had some risk tied to that carry trade mechanism, that probably were clueless about the amount of risk that they were taking, just like the banks with subprime and CDOs, clueless. But now that it's everyone is wide aware of that risk, that they know it, it's never going to go back to the way it was, because the counterparties may demand more collateral for those engaging in such practices. The people doing the carry trade may, back off a little bit. Hey, I'm not going to do it as much. I'm not going to lever it up as much, or just get out of it altogether because they were just so, blind to the risk they were taking for their firms or companies or offices. So that's why I don't know if it will ever materialize. So this trade may now need to unwind, just like the subprime. Once people discovered subprime had this toxicity to it on the balance sheet, it didn't happen overnight. But then it was like, oh shit, we gotta get ahead of this. We gotta go. We gotta make some changes now, but before everyone finds out. Like, that's what's happening in this carry trade right now behind the closed doors that we don't know. We don't know what firms have blown up because of it. What firms are about to. What if a big bank was engaging in this practice, right? Now they're on the hook, but they're in underwater. Maybe they're praying it's going to go back up and it won't. Just like subprime. See, this could result in a different type of financial crisis. That's all I'm saying with this situation, because I heard it's in the trillions. The value of this trade, from what I read, is over $3 trillion is tied up in the carry trade. That's like subprime mortgage. That's mortgage-backed security all over again. I've seen this movie play out. So we could be just at the beginning stages of that. Then the 10-year looks like it turned. The 20-year hit a reversal, so you could have bought the TLT today, or TMF was a buy today, and it looks like that is pivoting tonight, pushing down for the next wave. Or if you're lucky, 1-2-1-2, and we get a big drop to 3.7. The VIX was tricky, fooled a lot of people today. What was going on with the VIX? Now, we did not close with divergence. That's what I was saying. It's not out of the woods for the super crash, because I could easily label this corrective still, and then we just push back up. Of course, we could also say it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we push up to right about where we are, and then we'll just collapse back down to this shaded area. I don't know. I think it's the former, not the latter. And that's all I've got for the market overview, guys. So of course I'll go into your questions and see what you guys want me to talk about, and go from there. Megan, yeah, let's take a look at TLT. Yeah, I just brought that up. TLT was a buy today for those who wanted to get in on that, or scalp it with that pullback. So I believe TLT is in a wave 4 that should have ended at any moment in an ABC correction. All right, and that looks like your 3, 4, 5, and it looks like that's probably the low right there, is what I'm thinking. 15-minute shows massive bullish divergence. So this is a wave 5. So I just need a time to turn, and it looks like it's going to turn. Looks like tomorrow we should be pushing higher. to finish wave 5, or of course it could be a 1-2-1-2 and it really launches. So that's kind of how I'm looking at the TLT. Um, I think I think there is a chance that the move down could fool a lot of people in terms of expecting a big crash. Now, of course, it's possible still, right? Big crash, but I believe there's a couple things that make me think otherwise. Just a couple, and again, this is all I'm thinking. We have a couple things going on. The Japanese yen going back to the yen. This could easily come back down and then come back up in X. So the markets make a lower low and then it stays supported and we crash later. Okay? The 10-year can make wave 5 and then rally for a while. That seems to support the markets. Okay? That doesn't support really a crash. The dollar index is in a wave 5. Okay? So it could rally, so maybe that's negative for the market, but it's not. It wasn't here. It seemed to be correlated with a weak, with a strengthening yen. So maybe the dollar index is in a good indicator. Silver is. It's only fifth wave. Okay, if you get a fifth wave, we should rally. That should be bullish for the market, but it should drop. Bitcoin's another one. Bitcoin should drop, but it shouldn't collapse. It should hopefully maybe go to even new highs from here. And then you have the semiconductor indexes and sector and stocks that are way oversold. They're due a relief rally, guys. Now, could they go lower? Yes. But can they go catastrophically lower to support a crash? I don't know. So I think going back, what I'm trying to say is we'll push down, break this low, but maybe we won't go all the way down. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But what we do need to have happen, I think, is the divergence has to get erased. This has to, boom, it has to take these out. And of course, this has to come down. So those are the criteria. Wherever this ends, it ends. But as you can see, once it ends, we should have a big rally. If it's 4, the rally will break this high again. Can you believe that in the SPY? If it's not, it's a big connector, like in the triple Qs. If this is the grand super cycle top, this would be the first wave, and then we'll bounce for quite a while. So that's the most likely path. So I know everyone's I got everyone bearish, but hey, we also need to understand when we're down here, when we make it down here, we need to think about long positions again. And we will. So we will do that because we have to. Now, if it's a catastrophic crash, I think we'll all know. We'll see the news headline. We'll all know. And then we won't obviously catch the fall. I mean, we'll find support because the buyers just can't help it, right? You see them tonight, right? They're just trying to buy every little dip. Oh my God, I got to buy it. I got to buy it. Because they're trying to manipulate the futures higher, right? They're trying to like prime a pump, jump start the market. It's just not working, but they're buying every freaking little, dip. Oh my God, I got to buy it. I got to buy it. I got to buy it. And so at some point they're going to give up, but that can happen as we come down here, So that's why it may not come down because people want to buy so bad still. Unless the news event is very terrible. Like bombs blowing up everywhere on TV and all that. Now that would do it. That would probably get you down to 480 or lower if we see a big war break out. Okay, let me go to your next part of your question. Yeah, okay, 508, 510 specifically. It's always possible that it does another swing higher. It's possible. That's why I didn't like to short or mess around with these indices because there wasn't perfect alignment in the market, and you could force 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, C. I showed you the yen, the 10-year and stuff. So like like there could be a lot of chop in here until we finally get that capitulation. So yeah, maybe it could. I don't think it is. I think there's stocks that are running out of room that are going to break. There's already a sector that broke this low, by the way, and there's already a lot of signs that that's not going to happen. But but I guess you could always hope. There's always hope um, that it may. I don't personally think it will. Just I don't. But that's a tough call. I mean, you could try to play the game of let it drop to 510 and 511, go long and put your stop at 510 and just try it. Who knows? Maybe the dip buyers will save it. So who knows? Okay, Timothy, man, thanks for the big super chat. I appreciate it. FDX. Okay, let's take a look at FDX. FDX. Here, where do I got FDX at? Let me see here. I must have dropped off on my chart. I thought we had FedEx. All right, so we had the bottom here. So we are in this crazy pattern. One, two, three. That would be your flat. You didn't get a flat. It could be, and you broke the high. What do you know? Uh, Interesting. Like I said, I'm just gonna call the chart the way I see it. Not, I don't know why FedEx would pump, and the rest of the market will go down. But to me, this looks like the chart I would be looking at. Now this could be a flat where this two comes back down to 245, but this looks pretty good. I can't label this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because this looks too short for a 3, and the peak RSI is here. I can't label this as 3 waves. So for now, I'll label it this way, but it could still be in the middle of a corrective structure that just needs to finish with one more swing higher to erase divergence. But I'll just leave it at that. But I don't like taking any long positions. But I mean, if you want to give it a try, give it a try. But that's the chart I see when I look at it. CINF. Okay, here, I'll CINF. What is going on with CINF? There's a big cycle right there. So that's an easy one. Looks like another cycle. But I wouldn't label it that way. Something like that. Like that. And then, so this could be a couple things. This only looks like 3 up. So you could still be in 2 and a flat. Come back down to 83. That's what I would label it, like that. So for now, I would label it like a flat correction. And as long as it so it's either going to make a 4 and a 5, or it's done here. It's just going to come back down in this too. But in the, bigger picture, the future looks good. The future looks bright. Short term, very painful. Now, the reason I don't call this like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grand super cycle is because the RSI peak is here in the wave 1 and not in the wave 3. So I think this will find support But yeah, will there be pain? Probably be some pain coming. All right, SOXS. Yeah, SOXS is one that I've been watching. So we had a buy here, went vertical, had a buy here. We didn't get it. It looks like it truncated. Didn't even fill this gap really well. So I'll show a couple setups in SOX. I'm sorry, SOXS. SOXS. Uh, this could be a buy opportunity if it wants. The market wants to rally. Semis want to rally. You could try to buy it again at 27.14 if it pulls back. But as you know, it's in the middle of breaking out again. So this looks like 5 up to me. Yeah, big swings up. You look, big swing there, big swing there. That's just your first swing. So this is just one. That's why it could be really bearish, guys. Like I wouldn't label it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and call it complete. This is just one. Now, when this finishes, then this move is over, and then yeah, I would definitely want to dump this. I don't want to be in it. And then I want SOXL at 12 the bucks or under. I want to buy SOXL here. I think if SOXL can technically get and make this zigzag correction like we see here, you'll probably get a 30 to 40% move off of this. Like easy. We saw that happen with a lot of these triple, like if it can get there and just drop just like I have it, I want to buy this here and get that money because I think it would obviously need some kind of relief rally, especially the underlying stocks. Like I bet AMD is trading at $100 when we're down there too, so you probably want to buy some AMD too. So there'll be some buys. That's why we got to flip bull again. We have to flip to a bull again. Okay, and we will. But we got to be patient. We can't be stupid. Buy it at 26 and then lose half of our money, which is what a lot of people did, sadly. Unless you tried to scalp this little bit. Some people got lucky, scalped it. All right, Timothy. Winston, let's go to your question. German DAX. The German DAX kind of follows the Dow Jones typically, like not exactly like, but it's got a personality similar. The Dow's kind of been supported, you know. Again, I could even tweak the labeling on this and make this a 4 and a 5 if I wanted to. So I just mentioned that it's not like a Nasdaq. The DAX, we have it. So there's a couple options. This is why I don't have it labeled. It could still be a flat. You only have 3 swings. So I'll show you one label. That's probably market crash scenario, right? Goes all the way down, but stays above that low, but takes all those pivots out. That scenario's in play until we could push higher. Now we can push higher and take this out, negate it. Then if that happens, I'll put the 2 there in the DAX, and then I'll have 5 waves up. And then you know what happens after 5. We go back down. But this is a pretty bullish indice, right? If that can happen, it's actually pretty good. So I don't know. Germany must be going to be doing something okay. Well, a lot of countries will be sucking it up. But I mean, this is okay. Now it's a lot of 3s and 4s coming. Like, look, a lot of this is the wave 3 of 3 here. If it can make a 5th wave, but it's not like the end of I don't think this is the end of any grand super cycle in the DAX. I think the DAX looks okay. Now, the flat would be perfect, but that would correlate well with the rest of the market and it just comes down. And then we can make a big push out. And maybe Germany saves the world markets for some reason and it goes into a grand super cycle 3 of 3. So if this plays out, this is an indice you want to own. If this drops down here in a crash, This is one you want to own for the future. So I'm just saying that's what this chart is telling me about Germany. Okay, Donald, Tesla and Nvidia. Yeah, let's take a look at how those are doing. See what happened today. Ooh, ouch. Tesla. Oh, but hey, we expected it. So hopefully you are prepared for this. Now we either need to finish this move tomorrow or in the next couple days. And then you have a good, this is another indicator. Why is the market not going to super crash? Well, look, you have three waves. One, two, three. One, two, three. You're going to have a big relief rally out of this. You should. Unless it's something like an impulse and it just has a freaking meltdown, a massive crash. But it's not likely. So would I try to buy it here? Maybe you could try to buy it for a trade. Why not? But I would definitely not fall in love with it because more than likely it will fail at some point in the future. But is it tradable? Sure. TSLL could be a way to trade that. Let's look at where we are with TSLL. There's your connector. Well, let's see here actually. Yeah, there it is right there. A little bit lower. $5. Easy come, easy go. Boom, boom, round trip. So you got to secure profits. So we'll leave that there in TSLL. We'll see if it could push that, make that final push. And then Nvidia. Nvidia I said is really tricky in the connector wave. It's stuck in this connector wave, and I need to I'll show you again. You have 1, 2, 3. This is a big connector. Look how long it took. The 24th of June to the 2nd of July, 10th of July. So that's about 10, 16 days. So maybe 2.5 trading weeks or so, maybe. You know, okay, so I'm just showing you that we're in the connector wave here. This seems too short. It seems like it's going to play around and chop you up to death, probably right into earnings. And then wherever this is in earnings, boom, it finishes. That's what I'm thinking. This is probably just going to chop you up to death. I would be surprised if it just makes a beeline down and crashes. I think it's got up and down, who knows. My guess is it's waiting for earnings to come out. I think I saw at the end of August. Then it's going to make whatever move it's going to make. That's my guess. But it's just going to be, you're going to be just chopped up, chopped up, chopped up. That's what's going to happen because this took time. This is going to take time too. Okay. Carl Bork for $5. I don't see a question, but if I come across your name, I'll answer whatever you got. Any chance? Anything's possible. So I can't say there's no chance. But a couple things have to go right for Bitcoin to stop at 50,000. Yeah, is it a bigger connector? Let's look at the cycle where it breaks. See, it's not like I honestly don't think it's likely. I think it's very unlikely. But because ETH needs a 5 and it needs to break this low. Okay, if it connects up like this, it's not a 4, so it doesn't support that. Let's see here. Bitcoin Cash needs a 5. Again, if it does that, it won't support that. Then there's a lot of other crypto stocks that need to break this low, the swing low. Dogecoin already technically failed, which could bring much more downside to that coin. My bet is this will break, is my bet. But anything's possible. Anything's possible. But my bet is it's going to break. And I put money behind that bet because I short it here today. So I'm short Bitcoin. I'm trying to play for this. If we come down here, I'm not covering it. I'm just gonna let it keep going. So yeah, if it does that, I'll lose money, I guess, a little bit because I'll stop out here. If we break this, and this is where I entered, right around one of these wicks. So it's a pretty good timing. But now we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens with Bitcoin from that point on. I don't know. I think you're gonna get this pushed down. It just seems to me. I think you know, well, if you're a bull, you really want to come back and take this high out, because then that could really pump you back up to the 60s. Okay, so it'll really jumpstart things. Okay. LTCN. Let's take a look at LTCN. LTCN doesn't have wave 3 done. See this? There's your 3. You don't even have wave 3 yet. So I actually don't even have this labeled right. This actually needs to be a 1-2. This is very bearish, okay? So it's definitely going lower. And not only that, it has to bounce and fail. So to predict where it's going to end is almost impossible. But, you know, you have massive support right around this, I would say this area here, 450, 378. That's probably where I would target, 350. That's probably the right way to think about where it's going. Okay. You definitely don't want to be bottom fishing this thing. And again, the premium. This is like, I think, like trade, like buying, what is it? Like buying like $100 Litecoin or something. So, okay. Well, I think this is the count. Again, conservative could still go 3, 4, 5, but when I look at the RSI, this doesn't look like we have capitulation yet in this wave, which still needs to bounce and fail. Now this bounce is very tradable, but I mean, you'll probably make a lot of money on it if you can catch it, but it'll fail again, more than likely. All right, less L. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look and alrighty here, BXP. Let's take a look at BXP. So 1, 2 right there. Interesting. Yeah, it looks like it's a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. So right away when I see that, tells me I don't want to be on the short side of that, because that means you haven't seen the power of wave 3 of the grand super cycle yet. Yeah, let me try to label this. Like that, but it held it. Yeah, I'm not going to label it this way. And then you're in 2. So let's look at this wave 5 one more time. 1, 2, 3. So 1. Yeah, put it there. Maybe it's better to put that 4 here, put it like that. Something like that. So then you come down into. So let's see, the buy area would have been right here. That's where it reached. And then it erased divergence, but barely. Oh, you just erased divergence there. So this could be a couple things. This could definitely be a corrective bounce still, but you also can easily go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, which I think that's how I would label this. And then you're going to pull back down to maybe like 53.38, and then it could launch. Boom. Okay, so if you're short, you definitely want to close that if it's 73.40 if we go above it, but you may be able to get this a little bit here. I don't think it's going to break this low, but good luck with that. RRR, let's see here. Red Rock Resorts. Three. Again, it's kind of the same kind of chart where you haven't seen a real wave 3 yet. This is only 3 up. So this could drop all the way back down as long as it doesn't go below that peak on the monthly. So you could still be in a 2. I would assume you are until proven otherwise. So you want to assume that and look for this. Now, that's possible. Now, the other alternative is 2 is in, and you're going to make your 5th wave here, where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a big pullback, and then out. So I just don't know. So you'll have to decide. But I think, to me, like, yeah, just trying to understand the entire market here, it looks like to me that once this low breaks, which is just about to do it, I would be looking for the flat. Okay? Have you done anything? No, nothing different. I'm not sure. Yeah, I put the link on my Twitter now. Every time I go live, I tweet my link out. Okay? Bama, Devin, and BTU. Yeah, let's see. So I don't... Let's take a look at Devin. I was worried that Devin break this low. Okay, so it's do or die time for Devin. This has to hold, but you did come down. You did erase divergence. Great. This was some kind of impulse. That looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it needs one more low, and you'll break that. So we're just going to assume that's going to break. And then 2's got to go down another swing. So the bounce failed, which we're seeing this across the market. So now you have a connector, and it's got to go lower. And the next target is, a lot lower, unfortunately. So that low has to hold. Pretty important. But it doesn't look good. Let's see here. Let's bring this up. So looking for 2482, 1782, somewhere in this area. See how long this took to get there. You're going to have to go through some other decline of similar complexity, unless it just crashes. But but we won't see. See how it had to bounce and so it's going to have to come down and bounce and come down. So if it breaks this low, so it's going to have to come down like that. And we kind of know energy's bearish. All right, that's Devin, and then BTU. Yeah, how's that been doing? again, guys, everything's turning bearish in the market. I wish it was keep just going up forever, but it just doesn't do that. The market goes down too, but we all knew it was coming to a big cycle, coming to an end, uh, and it looks like that may be happening. BTU, where do I have it? Oh, there it is. All right, hit our buy area and kind of boom, came out. That's a good sign. But you see, no capitulation. So this is going to go lower. It's going to push lower. So I would be looking for the larger degree correction now in this too. And I warned about this as I gave BTU updates, which is why I never wanted to FOMO and buy any of this. So I'd be looking for the bigger correction, 1, 2, 3 connector, and 1, 2, 3 coming down to like the $12 area. But like you see here, you went down and a big bounce and fails, so it's got to go down, a big bounce, and it'll fail. Something like that. That's kind of the pattern. So I mean, I don't really see it tradable unless unless we crash down in here and then we just talk ourselves into buying it, even though we really won't have the swings that we're looking for. Okay, we'll just leave it like that for now. And here, look, that's the wave 4, by the way. So that's typical. Like, there just was a big extended fifth wave. Okay, that's all that happened here. But that usually you lose the whole fifth. Okay, Florian, let's take a look. Yes, so the maximum, so there's no actually official rule, but I'll show you one that I always like to bring out. Like, let's look at the Dow Jones. If you go back to the Dow Jones, I think this is one of the most famous flats. you know, you see it pushed pretty high up. Usually it never goes past 1618. Never here. If it goes there, no way. It's not a flat. There's just no way. So normally it stops at 236, but as you can see, it could still penetrate this area in reverse. The biggest thing you want to see is 3 swings, not 5, and you want to see divergence on the higher time frames erased, no divergence. You see that? You need to start worrying about a flat correction. Of course, that could always change if you can get a 4 and a 5, which is what everyone is hoping for in this market right now, right? We are praying there's a 4 and a 5. If not, it's probably a flat. I know no one wants to think that. Nikkei is the same thing. We're all praying for the Nikkei to take this high out so that this isn't, so there's no, like, it negates a lot of nasty stuff. But until you do it, you got to think flat. And the same thing with silver. Unless silver can come all the way back up and take this high out, you have to think flat. And it's just going to come out, keep coming down. So that's all I'm saying, guys. So that's how I look at these flats. A lot of people deny it. They discount it as aberration. Like they'll consider the flat as the last option. But in this market, it should actually be almost the first option when you see these counts, because I've seen flats and expanded flats way more in the last couple years than I've ever seen in this market. So I think it's a common setup that traders are doing to each other and they don't even realize it, like a false breakout, and they crash it as a spring and then they launch it. So I think it's like a tool that's being maybe even overused. So we try to anticipate the flats and almost expect them now. In 2021, they caught us by surprise a little bit early on in that correction, but once we figured it out, then we were starting to nail all these swings again. So I think the market loves these flats, expanded flats, and it's the nature of the personality of the market right now. It's just the way it's behaving. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay, Eddie, let's go to your question. DHI. All right, so looks like we are finishing a 5. So we're in an area that a reversal should happen. It looks like it's already started. So it's probably going to pull back all the way back down to like 129 from here, as long as we're below 185. So that's a pretty easy chart, right? We had this nailed. So this is the reversal. It looks like you already got that reversal. It's now going to just start grinding lower. LEN. Looks like we don't have that one. Lennar. All right, let's take a look. All right, looks like coming to the end. Looks like it's like a 1-2-1-2, but a massive super cycle degree. So looks like maybe not the grand super cycle, but it looks like this whole thing is finished. Yeah, there you go. There's your peak RSI. That's in 5. Again, I'm just going to label it in my system. And then this looks like 5 up. So 5 can be done, or it could keep extending. We don't know. More than likely it's finished, but we don't have that confirmation yet. If it's finished, it should come all the way back down to like 133. This looks pretty bullish for the future, for future investment if it pulls back, because it hasn't seen actually the big push in wave 3 of 3. So this would be an opportunity to get that for that push out. So I said, guys, the future looks bright for a lot of stocks and things, but it could be very painful what's about to happen. Just showing you. What are these guys? Home builders or something? Yeah, real estate or something. Yeah. All right, that's what I would look for. 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, anonymous. Is there any chance for recovery of Bitcoin after? Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, right? For Bitcoin, the plan is this, right? Again, there's a lot of people that just go 4-year cycles. It's up and 2 and down and 2 and up and 2. I don't care about the cycles and the 4-year and all that shit. Okay, guys. I just care about the swings and the Elliott waves. So once we hit this 40,000 area, to me, it's either it's a binary situation. It's either a 1 2 3 4 5. You lose the whole 5, expect it. You hit the 4, expect it, and then that makes another 1 2, and then it's off to the races. That's what I expect. I expect that. Look, and there's your trend line, and you also nail your trend line right there. There's a lot of support. There's got to be a lot of technical support right there. Okay, so that's the plan. That's the plan for crypto. Now, what does Litecoin and all those coins do? I don't know. They probably go up too. Now, where would they be when we're down here? God knows where. I mean, I think they're going to be a lot lower than where they are now. That's for sure. But this is my preferred view of Bitcoin and crypto right now. This. Now, there's an alternative where this is a flat. And then, yes, this will come all the way back down and break this low or tag it or come close. It's just, to me, is only 2 more possible outcomes that I can see here. Now, the path to get there, I don't know. We could chop around, so it could just drop. So, but this is where I'm targeting, and that's what I want to see. So that's, and again, I don't know if that's in the 4 year, 2 year. I don't know if it takes 2 years to drop to this level. I mean, that I don't know. But this is the setup. This is the setup I'd like to see play out. I like to see play out. It looks like it's pumping already. So if we could pump, so guys, if we could pump it and take this pivot out, then that's good for Bitcoin because then that opens up another swing higher. And if you were short like me here, you stop out, lose a little bit, and then you just look to reshort it up here. That's how I would play that. Yeah, 63,392. Okay, we'll see if it was able to break this or not. Why is the whole market pumping again? Okay, it's like they love to just buy the futures, guys. They just love buying the future. Like I mean, God, who keeps buying these future? Like, it's definitely someone trying to save the market because this is the only way they can influence the price. And then what happens? It fades at the end of the day. Like, I don't know what these guys are trying to do buying these futures up. They're trying to just sucker people in. It's crazy. Um, Bic, I mean, as you know, if Bitcoin falls, if the king goes down, the kingdom falls with it. So if Bitcoin goes down, all those cryptos are going. I mean, that's what typically happens. So yeah, they're all going to go down. They all will. So manage your risk accordingly. Be smart. All right, Carl, LNC. Let's take a look. LNC. Lincoln National. Alrighty, let's see what we got going on here. One, two. Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, it looks like to me it's in this setup. Again, a very bullish setup. And now it's in some kind of flat. Don't be surprised if it drops down to 22.94. But I think it'll do something like that and then come out. What do these guys do? Bank or something? Is it a bank? Insurance? All right. Yeah, so I'll be looking. This seems too shallow. It seems like to me it wants to usually go, somewhere around this area. This would be probably deep enough, but that's the count I'll be going with. So good luck on that. All right, I got through everyone's super chats here, so that's cool. Let me just kind of go through comments just randomly here, pick a couple. Like I see some Airbnbs. So we did that. People asked me about Airbnb, but the chart was very, it was in an area that it could have broke either way, so I wasn't able to really get a good, give good, like a really accurate, like where are we going. I was kind of like, yeah, it doesn't. It was kind of stuck in, it was stuck like a stalemate, like with the buyers and sellers. So it looks like it did pull down. So this would be so this is where I'm like, it's stuck. So it either could just keep going down, or you can make another swing higher from here. So I just don't know. I can't read this chart. This chart is not. It's not enough data to really properly analyze it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it makes another leg lower. Again, given where the overall market direction is, and that would take us down to 32.39, down to this area here. You know, over quite a long period of time. That's what I would look for. I would be bearish on this. I would just try to short it if you can in 3 waves until it can take probably either this peak out or more importantly that peak out. But my guess is it probably won't. If you're asking me about Airbnb. All right, I got a couple more super chats coming in. ETH. Okay, let's look at that. Grayscale. I don't see any. What's its symbol? ETH mini. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, there's just not enough data. You're not gonna be able to analyze that. I mean, I'll try. Looks like we'll just have to say it's an impulse, right? We're just gonna say it's an impulse down. And we need 5. And then we should rally. And then who knows? Who knows what happens after that? So you're hoping, you know, it could drop to 199, 186. I do caution you that it could also be a 1-2-1-2, and then it just collapses. So, but this is probably what's going to happen because the other scenario would be pretty bad, right? So that's kind of what I'd be looking for right now in it. That's what I'd be looking for. MO. All right, I already gave Airbnb, so MO. Let's see here. What's going on here? So this is one that we did a long time ago. We pretty much got it, the general gist of it. Right? We kind of got the right idea. So, you know, pretty good. I think I labeled this back in March or somewhere way back here. All right. So, yes, it's going into wave 3, right? It's going into wave 3. Going out. What is? Oh, yeah. No wonder everyone's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be smoking. So, you know, smoking because they're all don't have no jobs and they're stressed out and defense is a defensive play. So this looks good. This looks good. Okay, cool. Anonymous, sure, Neo. Yeah, I definitely warned about Neo. I definitely, that's why you have to stop out. I got rid of it a long time ago, and I'm happy I did. But this chart's playing out. Let's just kind of keep going with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's your 3. There's your 4. Looks like you're pushing down in this 5th wave. Yep. So you got to keep this divergence to get this 5th wave, and then that should be 3. This 3. And then, so as you can see, it's just going to keep grinding lower. So you could do this kind of on your own too. You could just kind of like follow it down. But eventually it'll get there. Right? Eventually it'll run out, you know, it'll go through this cycle. But it's definitely got more downside. Ultimately down in these areas. So it's just going lower. And this isn't a shocker, right? We stopped out when pivots broke because it indicated this situation was about to happen. Right, when this broke, when this came down and broke that, Elliott Wave Sage left to trade. So that's how it goes. But I think that's what you're gonna see with Neo. AEHR. Let's take a look at how that one's been doing. All right, so we did call that big relief rally over, and now we're should be grinding. So yeah, so we finished this big cycle. This big cycle ended. We started a new cycle. Now the question is, will it make another swing up, or will it just go into the abyss and essentially go bankrupt? Don't know, because all we see here is just three waves, right? So the market hasn't decided. The market hasn't decided. Does it want to go like that after that, or does it just want to go into the abyss? So I don't know. I don't know. My bet is it's going down. I wouldn't count on another swing higher, but maybe you get lucky. But I would consider this probably going to come break this low, and then you'll have a whole another cycle low, just like you saw here. We'll have to play out all over again. So it's gonna go into the abyss, and that'll probably be it for AHR. So really, it's got to hold this low. It has to. Yeah, Bitcoin's okay. It goes up and down. Everything goes up and down. Bitcoin's known for big corrections, right? Isn't it? Bitcoin's known to do this shit, right? So let it do this. Okay? Like I said, there's this pro guy that's traded Bitcoin back in 2018, 2017. I watch, and he taught me some things. He's loading up here. A lot of guys are loading. They're gonna load up. So if it wants to drop down here, I think it's got a lot of support. It'd be so the opposite is also if we go through this without any bounce, I would strongly advise to leave crypto because there's something very serious happening. But my guess is we're gonna bounce here in some where I'm circling, right? It may not be exactly here, and they're trying to break that. The market's trying. They want to take that pivot out. Those market makers know probably everybody and their mother has their stop loss there. They want to run that stop bad. They just can't. They just can't do it. They're trying. We'll see if they can do it tonight. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Let's go take a quick look through the market, just kind of see where we are while I've been chatting. Looks like the market's... So let's take a look. If you look at this wave, it looks like you have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your bullish divergence, so that's your 5. So it looks like your first wave is finished here. That's why we're starting to bounce a little bit. And if it's like last night, I'll come like all the way back up here. That's what I'm saying. The whipsaw action can be crazy. Wave 4 is here, so don't be surprised if it pushes up to wave 4. Doesn't have to, but it looks like that's it. Now, if we come back and take this out, then we may get to see the fireworks, the start on the downside. So I think we'll just have to wait and see what this 2 does tonight. NASDAQ, yeah, pretty obvious, the same count, bullish divergence, so a nice, beautiful impulse down. And there's 4. So again, it could keep pushing higher, but at some point, I believe it will end. Yes. Looks like the same thing. And you see how high it pumped? Look, that's a massive hidden bearish divergence, by the way. So people are selling into this hard. They're selling into this little pump really hard right now. So that's what's going on in the markets right now. So this cycle's over. This 5-minute cycle's over. So we're in this cycle. We're in a 2. So we're in a counter trend bounce. And if it's like last night, they're just gonna pump this shit all the way back and get everyone excited again. Oh, the war's over. The yen's gonna print yen. It's amazing. Party, party, party. Go buy, buy, buy. And then it's like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So I don't know what they're going to do tonight with the futures. It'll be hilarious if they try the same thing again. Because everybody and their mother will go back and short it. They'll be like, "Thank you for that gift." I mean, so I don't know what they'll do tonight. We'll see how this plays out, or if the war starts or something, that will do it. Oil finding sellers, interesting. Still got the turn. That's a big turn on our bond market. Good. Um, let's look at the yen. So the yen has 3 swings down. If the yen comes back down, that will be 5. That would mean this could be a major top. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and come up, and then I would expect more downside. So this is important. If you can hold this, then maybe you'll still get yen weakness and the market can pump more. And this is a connector for this move. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. All right, let's go back to some of your questions here. Looks like Florian, you dropped another super chat in. Let's take a look. Yeah, SMCI kind of played out what we wanted it to today. That was good. That was good to see that head lower. It is almost in our buy area. Ideally, I'd like it at 403. So this is also telling you guys that the market's due for a bounce. Like, look, big 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a big bounce, like in semis, need a relief rally. So that doesn't really support the SPY, like, you know, going all the way down. Like it supports more downside. So I don't know how much downside we're going to have to go. That's why you got to keep an eye. That's why you don't want to be too bearish. Because if we go down, like I'm showing if we go down like really hard, then SMCI would have to really drop down into these areas. I mean, it would have to have a big meltdown. So, and look, it's already moved so much here. We're in wave. We haven't seen wave 5 yet. So we still need a 4 and a 5 of this leg. So I'll try to label it. So you're still in this wave 3. Still need a 4 and a 5. But as you can see, you're kind of at the end of the move. So that's where it is. All right, CL, let's look at that. We have so many CCs, just not CCL. Wow, I guess we'll add that one too. Carnival, okay. So we had a 1, 2, 1, 2. We broke this pivot, so we're still in this wave 2. All right, I'll give you the target. Right around here. So we're close to the target. You have to keep an eye on it. It's possible, but very unlikely. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's likely corrective. Let me just take a bigger picture. If anything, it could be a bigger flat in 2 here, where this is an A, B, C, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it tries to retest these other lows. So this is a more bullish interpretation of the chart but it could also keep pushing lower, uh, and then this it could still be in that wave too. So we just don't know exactly. It doesn't seem to be corrective to me. Like I don't. I think this low's good. Will hold. It's just correcting either this cycle here or this one still. All right. Good luck with that one. ARM. Yeah. Let's take a look at ARM. ARM. And it looks like I lost my chart on ARM. Okay. So we have to label this as a flat, right? And it was it was not very typical for Elliott wave pattern uh, because just the look of it, but that's what it ended up being. So I have to label it that way. Uh, it, yeah, hold on. Let's get rid of that. You know, when I look at this, just looking at this a second time, you see how no divergence there? We're just going to label it because there's not a lot of, we don't have a lot of price data, okay? There's because it's new. So we're just going to label it as 3 swing moves for now. Because there's just not enough data to go with. Is this some kind of triangle? Yeah, I bet this is like some nasty X wave, and then Y comes later. Um, so we'll just, like I said, we'll just kind of label it. Like that, and then that. And then when this ends, the X wave is in. You see I have that bullish divergence there? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to label it like this. One more low. Probably a retest of this area here. That'd be kind of an X wave. You know, like a B, and a C, you know, like a WXY, some kind of 3-wave mess, and then another swing higher. There's really no good way to time your buy other than trying to take a stab at, you know, at this support here, a little bit of support. Another, I don't know if this gap's still in play. Maybe you can fill that gap too. That's the only way I could play this because there's just not a lot of data in ARM. So I would just have to look at it as your 3, and then you come out in Y. And then you go back through something like this all over again. So good luck with that one. All right. Let's see. I'm curious about Palantir. It's definitely intrigued me a little bit to see how the battle between the Bulls and the Bears have gone. See, it looks like the Bears are winning. They weren't able to take it. We're starting to pull back. My hunch was to fade this move. So we'll see. See if that's right. Um, all right. Let me just scan back through comments and then we'll wrap it up here. I usually stay on a little about an hour or so. AMC GME is always popular, so I'll do that one for you guys. AMC GME. Let me go to that real quick. Where do I have it? That's right. GME held up. Remember I said we'd go up and we'll pull back. As long as we're above 1867, everything's okay, I guess. So I'll give a second, a kind of second chance buy area. That would be right here. It's kind of a mess. I'll have to get rid of some of these boxes. 1985 in this area. You could try it. I would definitely have a stop loss here at 1870. And if you get lucky, you could be making some good money. So we'll see if that plays out. AMC, um, kind of the same thing, right? We're looking for that pullback. It looks like it's a flat. I mentioned that that's what would happen. And now it's just it's going to pull back with the market, but it needs to hold 440. Has to hold 440. A, B, C. If not, you probably don't. You probably it's probably going to go down a lot more. So I still see it going down. This looks like to me a 1, 2. You need 3, 4, 5. So it's probably coming back down here. All right. So there's GME AMC for you guys. A lot of people ask about GMC AMC. When I think about the VIX, I'll show you guys what I think about the VIX and what's going on. See, we're pumping the futures. They can't help themselves, you know. It's just like, but that's a lot of whipsaw going on. Yeah. Bitcoin, oh, it's trying. It's like buy, buy, buy. Again, put in the chat if they cancel, if the war is over and they bluffed, you know, you just I like to know that because I can't keep up with the news right now while I'm doing this. You know, I'll be surprised if they do that because they essentially pot commit it, right? If you're gonna play poker and you pot commit, you just can't. You're gonna bluff. I mean, then how do you ever play again? Listen, everyone's gonna know. So like they've kind of Iran kind of pot committed. They got to go through with something. They just can't fold. I just can't see it. Uh, so the VIX, as long as you're above 2197, there's a chance it could keep building higher and higher. Okay, it's this cycle down is over, so it's in a bull cycle until this low breaks. What happens from here on out? Tough to say. This actually looks like 5 up on the VIX right there, like an impulse. And now you're pulling back. So perhaps there's a long opportunity in the VIX at like 25.17, 24.51. As long as you're above this low, you come back in and try to pick it up for another push out if it's going to do that. So that's a play on the VIX. And how high can it go? I mean, if it wants to 50% retrace this, that's 38.87. It could probably come back up there. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Now, if it's different, if this is like W, X, Y, well, we're coming up to 80, 90 VIX. Then you want to just market buy the VIX. If you think that's going to happen, then you just want to go buy, you know, go long the VIX and be thankful that they're letting you buy it so cheap right now. So we just have to wait and see how this plays out. But this looks like 5 off the low. Now I could also try to make this like a connector here that finished up. So the 5 doesn't really mean anything because I could do that and then just boom, boom, and then drop it. So this is a chance, but it can break through that. Just keep that in mind if you're trying to play the VIX. I don't think it's a big crash because of a lot of factors I already mentioned in my video, but I think the market has got one more swing down. Okay, that's my thought on it. I think the market now the market has got another swing down. The SPY should make another swing down, and you saw the semiconductors are kind of like ready for a big relief rally, right? We all saw that, and a lot of other stocks too should be bouncing after we push down. That supports this fifth wave coming. This fifth wave. Then when we have up here, then we could talk big crash. Well, now also the triple Qs, I do think the cycle's over, but it will bounce. Maybe the SPY makes its fifth wave, and then everything crashes together. The Dow Jones is kind of a wild card because I don't like the count, but I'm just forcing more of an impulsive count, but maybe it makes one, and it bounces in two and comes all the way back up, but it stays below 41. And then it crashes with everything else. So I think the crash, and again, IWM could make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then could impulse up, but stay below this low. And then after that's done, everything would crash. You see, get the idea. So that puts the crash in like October time, which is typically when markets crash, and not right now. So that's why I'll be honest, I'll be really surprised if this just does something like this, and does it, just it's like that. I would be, but is there a possibility of that? Yeah, the setup's there. I'm not going to lie, there is a setup for that right now, and that's the flat setup, which, maybe a month ago was like you were laughed at for mentioning it, and it was like a 1% chance. It's probably now like a 10%, 15% chance, especially looking at silver. So yeah, I still don't think it's going to happen, but it's still maybe a 10 to 15% chance. So it's still a possible. That's why I'm really careful with my trading, because I don't want to get it wrong, because it's just we are coming to the end of this big move in the markets, the top end process. But yeah, we should push down here, I think. Yeah, I would say bull market for crypto after this correction is over. So hopefully it ends here. Maybe it wants to push up and come down later. Who knows? But I think it is because I don't have a lot to say why it wouldn't. I just think that, to me, you see you have this high and we broke it. So the market already had its flat, and to have another flat, to have a third high, that's very rare. Like, I don't know if I see that typically. Typically, you broke the high, and you broke the high again. Typically, when you see that, the market wants to advance. So I think because of the 1, 2, 3, now if this didn't exist and it was just that, then yeah, maybe the flat could. But so I just think, to me, that this market will find support and will move out of this. I think it will. I think it will, and that's why I will go long here myself, because I don't believe in a crash in crypto, because of those factors. The only way I could believe in it is if we just cut through this like butter. It's just no bounce, no resistance. It's just so much selling. Then that would tell me the nature of the market is something much different than anyone can imagine, because this should provide a massive technical support here. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. We've done the chart on XRP and it looks pretty bullish. So watch my video from yesterday, and we covered XRP in there. Nat gas is tough because nat gas, guys, is going to more than likely kind of mirror oil. So if oil is going to take this big dump, it's hard for me to believe nat gas will rise. So my chart on nat gas still has it coming down. I'm not bullish on it, but I'm not trading it. I won't trade nat gas. I don't trade nat gas. All right, last one for tonight will be PLL, because I see that quite a bit. as I scan through the comments. Let's see, PLL. Oops. PLL. Let's see what we got here. All right, so like I mentioned, this could be the low, and we're doing a 1-2. So if it's a case, we'll come out. But there's always a possibility it's a 1-2, 1-2, and then it just like has a catastrophic meltdown. So if you're going to try to go long, you really have to have a stop loss at 770. And if you're lucky, you'll get this out. It'll come out, and of course, there'll be a big pullback and then out. So that's the setup. So I don't know. But we've had this buy area on our channel for like 6-7 months, and we finally hit it. I mean, it's pretty good. We got it. Here it is. So, I would definitely, though, have a stop loss there if I was going to try to play this long. Okay? All right, got a last minute super chat. So I don't do the yield curve stuff, so I can't really comment, but the 30-year mortgage I can definitely look at for you. So let me see here. Where are we with, oh, that's the bonds, my bad. Mortgage rate. Mortgage rate forecast playing out just like we want it. I've had this chart forever, and it's just literally working out perfectly. So mortgage rates are falling, like I mentioned. I think I gave this update a long time ago when we were up here. I was like, get ready, you want to be ready to refinance. So I expect them to go lower, and they could come all the way down as low as 5, 6, 7. But then at that point, you better lock in your rate because it's going to be painful. I think the rate, if we, let's just say we get to that area, because it's in a flat, it's hard to get the exact target, but that gets you to 10%, 11% mortgage rates. So that's what's coming. I wish I had better news for homeowners, but that's the chart. I mean, you could see it for yourself, make your own decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and now we're in a flat. That will play out. And then at some point, bam. Now when we get to this 3, that could be the peak of the cycle, and then it could go all the way back down to 0 again. But if we get a 4 and a 5, this is just going to keep going higher and higher for years and years to come. So I think this is the count for now. So it is playing out. It's breaking down just like we wanted it to. So that's the mortgage rate, 30-year mortgage. It's just playing out just like we expected it to. Okay, I got another one from Anonymous. I'll go ahead and type that in. JP Morgan. Not a lot of chart data, so we'll have to just kind of measure this in 3. So the target would have been 58.48. Looks like you missed it by $1. So I may have already turned, especially looking at that candle right there. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up with bearish. There's your bearish divergence. So yeah, so this is due for a pullback for sure. This is due for a pullback for sure. So couple things. It's either going to pull back deep like that, and then who knows, or it is going to make a 4 and a 5, something like this. I just don't know. There's just not enough data to analyze it. So, but it definitely looks like it's turned and it's made its turn lower. The cycle is about to break on the monthly. Once that breaks, essentially we'll go into a bear market. It's right on the edge. So I would assume you've got a lot more downside for the next couple years in this thing, whatever this is. Okay? Kerwin. Okay, any idea when we can expect the low point? Unfortunately, my system doesn't predict time, but I'll give you my best guess. So it's not very reliable, but sometimes my it works. But I would just say that timing is tough. Um, so the first thing you do is you have this downtrend line here. So the downtrend line should stay intact for this whole decline. Okay, so if we just follow this line down, roughly about to here, that's February 25. So it looks like you'll hit it around the winter. Okay, that's what it looks like. So I would expect around February, January, you're down in this area. All right, good luck with that. Random ServiceNow and team. Yeah, let's look at ServiceNow. ServiceNow. Let's see. Here, where do I have it? I'll have to just pull it up. Yeah, just pull it up. Okay. ServiceNow has a bullish chart because you had this 1, 2, and then you broke the high and came down in 2. And we caught this trade on my channel. And now you're in this 2. So you're in and I think it's a flat plane trying to figure itself out. So I have a buy here on ServiceNow at 703. That's where I like to see it go for a big move out of this. So this is a mess, but I'm looking for this area right here, 103. That's where I think it's going. So good luck with that. Definitely something that is on my shopping list. So we'll just kind of let this play out a little bit. Okay, something like that. That's what I'm looking for in ServiceNow. In a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, but I think this is breaking out. I think the market, the bears have lost control of this, but they're trying. They're trying to keep it down. Team. All right, we have that one on here already. Let's see what we got here. Tim. All right, hit our buy area, but let's look at the swings and divergence. Oh, you almost erased divergence. You came close. You probably got just a little bit push lower, just one more swing lower. It's what it looks like to me. It looks like you've got like a 1, 2, 3 down. Well, maybe let's take a step back here. And then you need another 3 down. Yeah, one more swing down. It looks like it needs one more low. And hopefully that will erase the divergence. All right. So that's close to coming out. Stop loss is at 114 though, so keep an eye on that. But this is a 3-wave move. So something like that, and then hopefully you see the powerful wave 3 coming in this soon enough. All right, good luck with that. Yeah, futures taking off. Yeah, is there news, guys, that's pumping it, or is it just a technical rally like I was showing what's about to happen? Because yeah, we remember we were on our channel watching it. We knew we were in a new cycle, right? We're in this cycle higher too. And I said, watch them push this shit all the way back up, like that. If they do that, guys, it's just like, okay. Now, if that happens and we take this high out, then we're making that swing up into this kind of this box, And then you have a really good short setup. I think that would be a lot cleaner than this trying to short in this crap here. But we'll see how this 2 plays out tonight. Uh, and Bitcoin did take it out. It looks like it took it out. No, it's trying to. It's trying. So okay, so that's market. Let's look at the yen real quick. Got a wick there, so that's your pump in the, see the market is following the yen exactly. Yen goes down or yen strengthens, market goes down. Yen weakens, market goes up. Okay, Nikki helping with the cover. Nikkei. Rumor Bank of India. All right. No, I don't ever check out the Canada index. I should take a look at that. Well, guys, that's it for now. I'm done for tonight. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, the Bears, it's on the silver platter for the Bears if they want to step up and take it. I mean, but we've seen this setup time and time again, and they always blow it. So, I don't, or whatever it ends up being a bear trap. So, but the setup's there. The setup is there for a big, big, big flush down. 10% chance of a crash. We'll see if we get what we get tomorrow. It'll be a very interesting day tomorrow. All right, guys, let's